Okay, folks. So we're diving deep today.
Dive in deep.
Yeah, into something a bit different,
Yeah.
The official 2024 Donald Trump roast.
Oh, yeah. This will be interesting.
This is going to be a roast. So we all know roasts, they could be funny,
Oh, yeah.
but they can also,
Like a little
they're very pointed and...
below the belt.
Yeah, so we're not here to endorse any views or anything like that, just to analyze, how this roast works.
Exactly. The mechanics of the roast.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah.
And how it uses humor to deliver commentary.
Well, I think what's really fascinating about this one is that Trump is already...
His lightning rod.
Yeah, he's a very polarizing figure.
Absolutely.
So this roast is already kind of playing with fire.
Yeah, you're throwing gasoline on an existing fire.
Exactly.
So let's break down some of the techniques that they use in this roast to target its subject. What did you see as effective?
Well, one thing that immediately jumped out at me was the use of hyperbole.
Okay.
Taking a trait.
Yeah.
Like, for example, they make fun of his hair a lot.
Sure.
And they exaggerate, how unique it is.
Right.
That's a pretty classic technique in a roast. You take something that's already kind of known.
And you magnify it.
And you just blow it up.
Yeah.
For comedic effect.
But that can also backfire.
Absolutely, it can.
If it goes too far.
If it's too mean-spirited or crosses a line.
Did you see any examples of that?
Yeah, there were a few jokes that felt less like witty observations.
Yeah.
And more like personal attacks.
Yeah.
For instance, there's one joke about his business dealings
Wow.
that I thought was...
A little much.
Yeah, it was a little much. It felt like they were trying to settle a score rather than make people laugh.
So that makes me wonder about the audience.
Yeah.
How much does the
I
audience
think this is huge.
play into, whether a joke lands or not?
Absolutely.
Because you could have a room full of Trump supporters
Right.
who might find that joke hilarious.
Exactly. And on the other hand,
But then someone else...
you could have a room full of his critics who are very offended by that joke.
Right. So the context really matters.
Context is everything.
It's not just the joke itself.
It's who's telling the joke, who it's directed at,
Yeah,
and who the audience is.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like, think about those classic roasts.
It's like the Friars Club.
Yeah, the Friars Club, the Comedy Central roasts.
Yeah.
Those worked because everyone was in on the joke.
Because it's shared understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was like a game
Yeah,
that everyone knew the rules to.
exactly.
But this Trump roast,
This one's a little different.
it's different, right?
It's a lot more.
You got the political divides.
Yeah, it's very politically charged.
And social media amplifying everything.
And social media is just...
So does that change the game completely?
It definitely adds a layer of complexity. It's harder to find that balance between humor and offense.
Especially
When the person is already so polarizing.
So for you listening.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting for you.
Yeah.
How do you think this roast compares to other roasts you've seen?
Do the political climate change
Yeah, does that change your perception?
make you view it differently? It's a good question to think about.
Yeah.
And it reminds us that,
Because roasts can be funny, but they can also
start conversation
spark important discussions.
about our values.
Yeah, about our culture, about our politics. So as you think about
This roast.
this official 2024 Donald Trump roast,
Think about this.
think about how the identity of the person being roasted,
And who the audience is.
how does that impact
Yeah.
the effectiveness of the humor?
The effectiveness and
And even the ethics of it.
the ethics of it.
Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought.
Food for...
All right. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.